Have you looked at the news ever?
Ever? It's not like rampant. It's not rampant.
Yeah, but
Can we talk about the number of school shootings within like 2 months last year?
Okay, who?
Parkland,
2 years ago,
like
3 years ago, yeah.
Yeah, that year there were
And the
like
kid had red flags. Everyone knew it, and they should have stopped that kid. He had mental problems.
But that's
he had mental.
so maybe they should have done something about that.
Yeah, so maybe it should have been treated.
Yes.
Wow.
So maybe he needed medicine.
Yes.
Maybe
when
they
you
should have
see
treated
red
him.
flags like that, yes. They're not normal kids that are going, oh, I'm sad,
Normal
I'm
kid-
depressed.
Mom, first of all, don't say normal. Second of all, they get tested. You don't just go somewhere and you're like, I'm sad, and they're like, here.
Doctors just want to give kids pills.
And you know that for a fact?
Yeah.
Okay, so if I went to a
It's at the
pharmacy,
pharmacy, they want to sell drugs.
So if I went to a pharmacy-
They're
There
a
are other
company.
options.
It's a company. Yes, there are other
I've
options.
seen-
Parents
I've
are
seen-
smart. They would take their kids to other options, not putting them on freaking pills if they feel sad.
sometimes
Actually,
there's not
I meet
options.
once a week with a mental health professional to talk about my mental
Good.
health, and never have they tried to feed me drugs.
Good.
Like that's never
So,
been.
so
There
your
are other
point,
options
your
to treat
point
it.
just got
No,
Cancel
that's
that.
a good thing. But
Exactly.
But a lot of kids are throwing drugs. A lot of kids from church.
a lot of things happen to a lot of people. So I don't know
I don't
what
know what your argument is with me. I'm just saying
You're
kids
just
were a
being
lot
loud.
happier years ago.
Kids were a lot more ignorant.
Yes.
And also,
What's it being ignorant? So I have to hear on internet that I'm depressed, even if I'm not? That doesn't make sense.
no.
What you just said didn't make sense. That wasn't
No, so you're saying we were ignorant because we didn't have internet.
Yeah.
So
Right,
if
so
we
you
had
weren't
ignorant, then
exposed-
we'd see, oh, we're exposed to that, so, oh, maybe I'm depressed.
Mom.
Yes,
No,
I'm depressed.
because
Okay, that's
it's,
just
because
positive
we weren't
effects.
it's knowledge of world events. Because when you don't have immediate access to information like that, you're only knowing what's going on in your community. And if you grew up in a community
But why
that was
is the
well-to-do,
news making you depressed?
because you're aware of
Like
like
bad
you're saying
things
that
happen.
kids were happier and they were because they didn't know.
Like the
about
Twin
all
Towers, if that happened and you had no access, you would have no idea. That's
Right.
sad. You cry every
I
time.
cried for a
exactly.
week, yeah.
If you didn't
But
know
it
that,
didn't ruin
if
my
you
life, I didn't have
didn't,
to take pills for it.
yeah. But I'm just giving an example. That's something that can lead to bigger things. You can get upset by something, and that can
By that,
Well,
and you get upset by
I know,
another thing.
Of course, people's parents got divorced or someone died. Your friend died. Or I remember one kid died from being drunk and choked on his puke
That's
in our
not
high
good.
school. Yeah, that was sad. But we didn't like go on pills and stuff. And
No, because it's
because why?
you're just
Because we didn't know what world events were. We saw the news every day, and it was honest news. It wasn't bullshit news feeding you freaking propaganda. It was real
mother.
news. What was
so
really
so
happening in
if
the
I
world.
said the Twin Towers they didn't crash, they didn't come down. That's fake news.
that wasn't that long ago. I'm talking about when I was in school.
Simply just.
And that was real news. I literally watched that happen on TV.
And
that
how did it
morning
make you
live.
feel?
It was horrible.
And it made
but
you feel really
didn't
bad.
make me
Now
take
imagine-
fucking pills.
But now imagine being exposed to that kind of information from the age of 6 every single day when you open your computer to do your schoolwork.
Then why are you looking at that
'Cause
every
it's-
single day?
Every
We can't
there
control.
is no
We don't
way
have
to get
power
around
over
it.
that.
Think about all of our schoolwork this year is online, right? Which means once a day at least we have to open our computers. And what do you see when you open the computer? You see news. You see
And then most of it is bullshit, so just pass
Mom,
by it.
things that are like shootings and stuff like that, that's not fake. Okay.
Just pass
those
by
aren't
it.
If you
There's
see
nothing
it-
you can do about it.
if
There
you
are
see it,
bad
then you
people
still
in
are
the
affected
world.
by it.
There are bad people in the world. There's always going to be bad people in the world.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be bad people that are going to shoot people, blow up people, and stab people.
right and
There's
being
always
raised.
been that. There's the less, more now than there's
Okay,
ever
okay,
been.
Being
Mom,
raised
calm
in that
down.
It's better now than it's ever
Quiet down,
been.
quiet down, quiet down, okay?
never having had a part of childhood where you didn't know that existed, that's the difference. Your generation, right, up until a certain age, wouldn't have known anything about that. Because you wouldn't
We
have
saw the news, honey.
Right,
we
but-
saw it. There was a shooting. We
But
knew
at
it.
7 years old, you weren't signing on to YouTube to see those kind of things, right?
No, but why
there was
would
a,
you-
there was a
don't do
level
that.
of
No,
being,
because you don't have control.
there was a level of being sheltered that you had up until a certain age, until you were emotionally mature enough to understand, yes, this is happening, but it's not affecting my life, and I'm able to move past it. But when you are exposed to those things from such a young age,
So you
that
can't
you
get past it.
have never known anything besides that. So you've never
So
had.
you don't see joy in the world
You've
and
never had.
happiness?
No, it's not that that's not there, but you've never lived in a world where that was all there was. Like kids at the age of 6 or 7, right, in your generation, had no knowledge that mass atrocities happened.
We
that-
knew about freaking the Jews being millions of Jews being killed. We grew up. We knew that.
Yes, but that was a one-time
We knew
thing.
about the wars. We knew about Vietnam.
But was
if
it
there
on-
was a big shooting
Mom.
somewhere or a bombing, we knew that it was on the news.
But was it on the daily?
If it happened,
Were
it was
you
on the news.
But was it on the daily?
But were you getting notifications
No.
from cell phones
Exactly.
and pocket
But
Exactly.
Then don't look at that.
No, but you can't
If
help
you
it.
can't
Because
change your life,
what
there's
society
nothing,
is now.
there's nothing you can do about it. Bad things are going to happen all the time.
Right,
Why is
and
it
when-
going to impact
and
your
when
life?
you've grown
when
up
there's so much
constantly-
joy and happiness and beauty in the world, why are you going to let that make you depressed?
Mom.
Because when you well, first of all, depression.
If all
another
your
choice
kids
is
dropped
chemical
dead right now, you would go into a state of depression. And would it be okay if Early said, oh, your kids are all dead? Well, suck it up.
I
Life
wouldn't
moves
be in
on.
a state of depression.
A state of
it
de-
would be horrible, but it would.
So you-
I'm not a
But-
depressed person. Like I wouldn't
It's-
be taking pills to make me be numb to get over it.
That's not what
my
it's doing.
point. I
It's-
Okay,
don't think
antidepressant
you should
medicine
get
does not make your feelings numb.
It
balances
fixes.
the chemicals so you can live.
You should probably expand your knowledge on what you're going to talk
I
about.
do know about that because a lot of my friends from New Hampshire's kids were on that shit. So it does help some kids, yes, I'm sure it does. But a lot of kids, it does make them numb. And it makes them not themselves. And some kids just need to be themselves. You are what you are. You have your own feelings. It's okay if you don't feel like someone else and you feel a little sadder about certain things. It's okay. It's freaking normal. Everyone's different.
So
It
then
doesn't mean you
if-
need medication.
So then, if they're depressed, they should just stay depressed.
They
Because that's
shouldn't-
who they are.
no.
So what should they do?
So
What
then
should they
what
do?
should they do?
What should they do then? What do you think they should do?
What do I think they should do? Everyone's different.
Interesting. What should they do though?
So you want to be on pills? 'Cause
That's
you're
not what I
telling
said.
me you're
If
depressed?
somebody's depressed, then what would they do?
I would not let you on pills ever.
If anybody, not me, if somebody,
It depends their type of depression. If they have,
then stop generalizing the entire generation.
I'm not.
You are. You're saying, oh, your generation's so sad they should get over it.
They
So that's
are.
what you're doing.
They're so. You guys are so like.
Okay,
So
so
then, what should we do about it?
yeah, what should we do?
Get over it, man. Life
But
is
you said that
life.
it's different for
Everything
everybody.
shouldn't freaking be so huge. Like life is life. Things happen. You just move on. You learn. You grow. You
Okay, so
thank
But
God
the
for
life
your
goes on
blessings.
attitude, that laissez-faire attitude of, oh, things just happen, there's nothing I can do about it, that's how change never gets made. That's how...
How things do happen, honey. You can't change
Right.
what's gonna happen unless you make your own change.
Right, but the
Right.
only way to make change is to care about the issue first. And if you
Right.
never care about anything, if you see on the news, oh, there's a dictator in another country who's murdering
Yes,
thousands
I
of people
totally
with certain
believe in
race,
change.
and then don't care about it because, oh, life moves on, I just have to be past it.
Totally agree with you.
then you're fighting what you're saying.
No, if you want to make change, make change. I'm talking about
Right,
kids
but-
that are upset and they feel victimized all the time.
But you
That
have
the
to
cancel culture. That's what I'm talking
Mom,
about.
it sounds like you've been online watching stupid YouTube videos your entire life.
No.
Yes.
Oh my God. Never mind. Never mind. Okay, let's just drop it.
Well, I think
Let's
you're
just
very
drop it.
ignorant, and I'm very upset.
Upset about what? Because I'm saying get over it?
Because in
Like,
order
why do you
to
have to be
change...
upset about everything?
Because
order
you're
to-
attacking a
If
whole
it's some-
generation.
If it's something important, yes, honey. I believe individuals need to make their own choice.
So then
And
why
if
are you
something
saying
upsets you, then you need to get involved with that situation.
Right. So
and
that
make
sense
your
of
change.
empathy.
And the best thing you can do is love other people. Like Luke make friends with Ryle. He does things like that, or he thought he was gonna hurt himself. Went to the teacher, like make love people and do the best you can do in the world.
Well,
Right.
your
Just
attitude-
spread
Having
love.
that- but
And
then
if you
having
have a
that emotion,
major,
right?
if you have a major issue with a policy or something, and
But
then,
in order
then
to-
go get involved in politics. You know,
Right,
do
but in
what
order
you
to
need
cause
to do.
change, you have
But
to
I'm not
care
talking
about the
about
issue,
that.
right? You have to have empathy. And
Yes.
empathy a lot of times starts with sadness, with, wow, I can't believe someone would do something
I
that horrible.
agree.
That's really
Oh my
upsetting.
God, I'm not talking about any of that.
You're
That's-
talking about our generation gets
Your dad's
sad too
talking.
easy.
I'm talking about that this generation is overworked with
Oh, so we're overworked.
having, oh my God.
Continue. Our generation's what? I just want you to understand, like, we're all gonna
You
fight.
don't understand what I'm saying
I'm just-
because you're just gonna argue with me.
Yeah, because-
you guys are too weak. Okay, you're too.
Mm.
Everything has. Oh, it's so hard to explain. I don't mean you're too weak. I didn't mean that. I'll take it back.
Mm.
Okay, I'll take it
You
back.
should take back a lot of things.
No, I'm not gonna take back things.
Okay, then continue.
Never mind. Like,
I would just like to say, you know what? Let me stop. Let me stop with the personal example because that's a little bit oversharing.
Because, like,
But-
I understand a lot of things you're saying. A lot of things don't make sense.
everybody's different.
Don't interrupt me,
Early,
first of
I
all.
understand. Everybody has different family circumstances, things that happened in their past. Different people are affected by different things in the world, what they see on TV, the things that affect them and make them feel sad. I understand it. I do too. When I see stuff on the news, things make me sad and break my heart, and sometimes I cry, and I understand all that you're saying. That's nothing that I'm talking about. All I was saying, and you guys should agree, if you ask anybody of my generation, kids were happier.
Sure.
We went outside and played. We hung outside. We weren't doing this all the time. We did see the news. Yes, we knew what was going on in the world, but like you said, we didn't see it in our face all the time, okay? So that could be the issue that makes other kids, you guys, more sad or depressed, but we didn't have that depression and suicide back then. It was a much more carefree time and a happy, like people felt happy and blessed. And I just see children nowadays just having so much stress and heartache, and it breaks my heart. It's like, enjoy life. You guys are so blessed, so blessed. And that's all I'm saying in this whole freaking conversation is
Okay.
what I'm saying.
But
And it breaks my heart that your friends or Ryle or that is hurting himself. Like, why? You have your whole life ahead of you. Like,
Yeah,
if
but
you
you-
guys are saying news is gonna make him or his mom strict? Really? Like, my dad.
You don't know
was
people's
so
situations.
strict.
Okay,
I
I
also
understand.
like to say-
I understand what you're saying, but the problem is you're calling a whole generation with.
I'm not calling a
Let me
whole-
speak. I let you speak, so now be nice and let me speak because you had a turn. Now it's my turn. Okay. So the problem with what you're saying is that you're calling our entire generation weak, which you took back, but you still said it, which I think you should think before you speak a little time. So, you know.
Well,
But-
you know I don't.
Well, you should try it sometimes. Anyways,
I
don't
don't.
call the whole generation weak. Don't say that we're all being we're victimized, and we're all like that's the problem. You're saying that basically everyone's problems, get over it, they don't matter. If you cry about Hyunjin, if I was like, oh, get over it, you would be sad about it. You'd be like, Luke, what the
I
heck?
do
That's
get
so
over
mean.
it. I get over it in 1 minute.
I know, but
It's just a
basically
moment.
your mentality on our whole generation is toxic and rude.
It's not
It
toxic.
is. You're saying that all of
It's
us
a
are.
generalization that's not accurate to a
Yeah,
lot of us.
and you shouldn't do that at all, ever.
Because you guys don't know what it was like.
But I also would argue that
You don't
it
know what
wasn't
it's like for
that.
us.
It wasn't like that for
I'm
everyone.
living
back
it.
No.
I'm seeing
Are you
it.
our generation? I don't think so.
I'm seeing it.
You're witnessing
I'm
it.
seeing a lot of
But are you
children
experiencing
being
it?
victimized, and they're not victims. They can be strong and be strong with themselves, and they're not freaking victims.
Like what? Give me an example.
oh my god.
I would also argue that it wasn't like that for everyone in your generation. While a lot of people in your generation, yeah, were a lot more carefree and a lot less stressed, there were also people just like the victims of our generation who were going to jail for life sentences for crimes that they didn't even commit because of a unjust justice system. Or there was still people
Then
being
don't
killed out of
commit
racial
crimes.
crimes they didn't commit that they were falsely accused of that have been in prison to this day for 40 plus years.
But
for crimes they
And
didn't
Trump got
commit.
a lot of those people out.
We're not talking about Trump.
Well, he did.
We're not talking about that.
He started that whole thing.
He
about
also
getting
let a
these
lot of
out.
people out that had been proven guilty, but that's beside the point. But there were a lot of people there were still mass shootings and
Yes,
racially
there's
charged
Stop talking.
Yeah, honey.
Stop interrupting, please.
And-
Put tape over your mouth. Stop talking.
people who had the same problems as us, but without the outlet to talk about them. Because back then, mental illness wasn't addressed as a valid issue. So people who were struggling the same way a lot of our generation is, people who were depressed, who were self-harming, who were considering suicide, didn't have anyone to reach out to.
Because they had you, people like you, people who were like, get over it.
They had
people
suicide
like you.
hotlines. They had help. We had.
Yeah, but if you're surrounded, if I was really depressed, I'm not. If I was really depressed and I was surrounded by early and heirs, and they only told me to get over it, told me that my problems, I don't get over it. Stop talking. Don't even think about it. And I was surrounded by all these people, and I felt personally that nobody cared to help me. Then how would that make, like, obviously nobody's gonna like get help for that, because I'm gonna feel isolated, I'm not gonna feel welcome, and I'm gonna just have this problem that's festering into something even worse.
That's my thing.
Your generation just kind of sucks.
Why
Now. Sorry.
are all you guys feeling depressed all the time? Why?
That's
why?
an individual thing.
Yeah, but why?
It's
Do you want us to all
Their
go
lives
into?
are blessed.
do you want me to like go into my personal experience and why
Are you
I'm
beaten?
That's a.
Are you beaten?
That's a little bit of an invasive question.
Are you sexually abused?
Are you saying that those are the only causes to have
No,
depression?
I'm asking a bunch of questions. Are
I've
you
been
are you
mentally
starved?
abused. As a child, yes, I was. Not by the parents who I live with now, but
Are you okay right now?
right now, I'm
Kinda.
luckily in a situation where I feel safe.
Do you think those things that happened in your life made you a stronger person?
I think that
And
they
gave you
gave
empathy
me,
towards other people?
I think it gave me trauma that I'm still unpacking to this day because of things that, like, I don't really want to go into
I
elaborate
understand.
detail right now.
But it's made you the person you are. And I think you are an amazing person. And I think you're lovely. And I think you are freaking brilliant and talented. And that's your journey has made you into your person that you are. Everyone has a different journey. My dad was a freaking bully. I was scared to death of him. Me and my mom were terrified he was gonna beat us till he finally left when I was 14. Okay, I went through that shit too. He was in the freaking mafia. We had to hide out. I know what shit's like. Okay, I'm not ignorant. We had to go through that too. Everyone has a different journey. Everybody has their own story, their own family, their own thing, and it depends on you how you're gonna make the outcome, right? Right?
I would argue that I would still be
Are
the
you
person
gonna
I
let
was today
that-
if I hadn't been locked in my room until noon every morning.
Is
as a child.
that gonna define you, or is it gonna make you stronger?
Mom, you're invalidating things that happen.
I'm not.
And
I
so-
just said
so
I'm a-
if
Like,
Dad-
I don't want to consider my trauma a blessing because it's not.
It was
It's what
trauma.
God gave you.
It was trauma, Mother.
You have to come through it. We've all been through trauma.
Yeah, and
Some
it's
people
not
haven't,
good.
but most have.
Because it's trauma, so
It's
it's
trauma,
bad.
yeah.
So we're
So
not thankful for it.
My trauma
I'm
is not a
gonna live by
blessing.
that.
There might be other things in my life that help me move past that. That could be considered a blessing if that's what I so choose to worship
But
or believe in.
what I'm
But
saying is, you seem like it has strengthened you. You seem like you're moving forward. Are you not moving
She
forward?
early could still have gone to the point that she is without the things that have happened. Maybe this has sped that
And-
process along, but
and she-
that's
and I might appear like that right now, but that doesn't mean that I always feel that way. That doesn't mean
I'm
there aren't
sure
nights where I
sometimes you
consider
cry.
hurting myself. There aren't.
Why would you hurt yourself?
Just let her
Why?
talk. Mom, clearly.
Why would anyone freaking hurt
So
themselves?
sometimes, if you're in that much
If you
of
are-
I've
pain,
been in terrible pain. I would never freaking want to hurt myself.
well, it's
but I
individual.
don't understand that.
Well, if you don't understand, then why are you even debating about it?
Tell me, why would you
Because
want to
sometimes
freaking hurt yourself?
there's like things like, I don't know, you just get to the headspace where it feels
Right.
like that's something that's helping, but
It's a release. It's a release because you have all these.
there is God above. Talk to Him.
Not
Talk to
everyone.
a friend or talk to a parent's
That's
friend.
not always
Not
helpful.
Everyone freaking hotline. You don't hurt yourself.
That's not
everyone
always
has friends
helpful.
and family they can turn to.
And
Not everyone
hurting
worships
yourself or
God.
hurting yourself is helpful?
No, I'm not
How
saying
is
that.
helpful?
sometimes it
It's freaking
feels
crazy.
like
It might.
It's
It might
unhealthy.
make you feel better. It doesn't. That doesn't mean that it's a permanent solution. That doesn't mean that it's okay.
It's not even okay. It's not a permanent solution. It's
And I'm not
wrong.
arguing that it is.
It's wrong.
It's okay, so you know the coping mechanisms? That would be an unhealthy coping mechanism. It still is coping, but it's unhealthy.
Because someone's not receiving the help that they need, or they don't have the support from other people. So that is their only option to make them feel okay in that moment.
Not saying it's right.
That's crazy.
Well, we're trying to tell you. That's how it is. You can ask.
And that's why I'm saying it was way better when I grew up. That's shit never even came
Okay,
across
but now that it is
did,
happening,
though, but it did.
and now that it is happening.
My parents and grandparents
I'm
all
still
had
friends
experience
with
with
my
that.
high school friends.
Okay, but now let her
Everyone's
talk.
fine.
Let her talk.
Just because your group didn't do that doesn't mean that people did not
And
experience
half
that.
my friends were gay, and we didn't even know that until a year later.
Right.
And they were
do you
still
know-
fine.
And you know, people,
That was
right,
funny.
people had those issues but didn't have people to talk about them. So someone who was struggling with like having a sexuality crisis and not having anyone to talk to about that, not having
But
someone to turn to and say,
nowadays
is this
it's so
okay? Is
open. Like you can go online. Everyone's freaking trans and gay now. Can't you talk to?
Mother,
It's so accepting now.
You don't
not,
This is
not everyone
this
is
is
accepted.
not accepted.
you're not being accepting at all right now.
That's accepting.
You would
now. When
embrace,
I went to
you would
high
embrace
school,
our generation and care for us. You wouldn't say get over it. You would,
I'm not talking about being gay or transsexual.
No, you're-
saying get over that. I'm
You're
not saying that.
literally
So if I-
being
if I
so
told you-
rude and just you're being such an
Then
awful
don't talk to me,
person
and
right
I'm
now.
not being rude.
You
If I
are.
told you, okay, if I told you right now, that I am not straight,
I don't care.
and
Running.
I
She's
have,
giving an example. Just let her
and
talk.
I struggle with mental illness, I see therapists, I have depression, I have anxiety, I have ADHD. Are you going to tell me to suck it up? Like,
No.
are you going to tell
No.
me to get over it?
Okay,
No.
then apply that to everybody.
Because it's not for everyone. I'm saying other. Never mind. You're using everything I say as one way, and it's not one way.
Well, maybe think
My
before you
main
speak.
whole thing was this generation is too soft, okay? That's all I'm saying. I'm not talking about
But we're not-
people that have real issues. I'm talking about other
Real
things.
issues?
Yes, like what you just said.
Just because some issues might be worse than others doesn't invalidate this. Just because if
I
just
understand,
because my
honey, but
friends'
what I'm
parents-
saying is when I grew up without the internet, it was different. We didn't have these issues. We were happy.
just because
We
just
can
and
still
all
be
you
happy.
guys seem to be friggin' depressed all the time.
You can still be happy. Our generation is
Because-
still happy plenty.
You're depressed all the time.
because
Okay?
It's so
Well, let's-
sad.
Because we're
Okay, well,
taught-
maybe we should do something about that. I don't know.
What am I supposed to do about it?
maybe
Well,
not
I
tell them to suck
Everything
it up.
I can for you. I don't tell him to suck it
Mom,
up. I've never
Mom,
told him
on
that.
the way to school one day, I was
I've never told you to
on
suck it
the
up.
way to school a few weeks ago. We were going to school, and I was very depressed that day and not feeling it.
Okay.
And you told me, Luke, this is getting a little too draining for me, and I don't think I can handle you acting like this anymore. And I went to school that day with that in mind for the rest of the day.
Oh my god. One time I might have said that, and you know what I probably said right after it, which you're not going to say, is try to be happy and feel blessed.
You did say that.
Thank you.
But you're still,
But telling
you
someone
can't
who's
just say,
depressed to be happy.
oh, you have cancer? Just stop having cancer.
It's not the same.
You're
It's still
telling,
an
you're,
illness.
And I said that one
You're
time too
telling-
with a nice follow-up, and you're going to say that
no,
to my
but
face?
you still, that's like a
I
backhanded
am the
compliment.
most supportive freaking mother that you could have.
You're not,
Really?
you're
You
not,
have- That's it. I'm done.
you're not being very nice
I'm
right
done.
now. If I had depression, you're gonna be all supportive because it doesn't sound like you would be. This conversation wouldn't want me to this
I
wouldn't.
took you to a specialist 2 years ago, right?
2 years ago?
Right? At school? Didn't
Sure,
I do that for you?
sure.
Thank you. Isn't that being supportive?
I don't even remember what was happening 2 years ago, to be honest.
Isn't it supportive that I
Sure.
did that?
Sure.
You didn't want to do
2
it.
years
I
ago?
made you do it.
It's not a black and white
Yes,
issue
it's not a black and white.
of whether
But
you're
I
supportive or
support
not
you. For
supportive.
you
But
to act like I'm not supportive of you is crap.
I didn't say you weren't supportive.
You just did.
I said that you're not being very supportive right now, and that I wouldn't.
I'm not.
And maybe if you let me finish
guys
my
are
sentence.
mixing this all up into one thing,
Because
and that's not
that's-
what I'm freaking saying.
But that's, to be honest, because you keep going on tangents, and then we keep going back and forth.
Whatever.
So if we sit on
Okay, then we're done.
one constant
we're done.
thing, then
we're
we
done.
would.
And I'm the most supportive mom. If any of you guys have an issue, please talk to me, and I will be totally supportive of
Mom.
you. And please don't hurt yourself.
I understand that you feel that way, but the way you're acting right now, nobody here, I can tell you 100%
then whatever.
fact,
Then fine.
would not want to come to you. You're
Then
not at
fine.
all being welcoming.
Then fine.
You're yelling, you're saying, oh my god! You're
Then
saying
look,
that this
okay,
generation,
then
that all
fine.
of us are weak. Oops, sorry, didn't mean to say that. Maybe I should think about what I
Okay,
say.
then fine. Okay.
So maybe you should work on yourself, Because I know that
I don't need to work on
you have
myself.
good intent, but the way that you're
Thank
executing
you,
it,
Coming from a 15-year-old, thank you very much.
but you're not executing it in a way that's gonna be helpful at all, and you're just acting like a little child because you don't want to hear what what is the truth. So
Guys, I am 56 years old.
that means literally nothing.
Okay.
And you just said, Luke, you're 15. Like, stop using age. That's so stupid. Age doesn't define maturity 100% of
You
the
guys
time.
took everything I said basically out of content, and that's fine.
Bestie, you went on a whole Trump tangent.
That's not what the whole what?
You go on tangents. Just continue. Just continue.
I just was making a thing about your generation compared to mine.
And we didn't like
you guys
that.
went in this whole mental issue thing, and I support people that have freaking issues. Okay.
I don't think it should be a generational debate at all. I think it's a matter of individual basis. And
No, let me tell you, it is a generation thing. We did not go have this stuff when I grew up.
there were plenty
And
of
I
people.
lived it, and I was there. We did not
But there
have
were
issues.
people. They may not have been in your community, but there were people
Or maybe
in
they
that
just
time
didn't
period
talk about it.
who dealt with
Oh,
those same
I'm
issues.
sure. But if it's that huge like it is now, we did not see it in my school.
It just wasn't talked about, and it's not everywhere. There's still communities where
Remember you had that friend who had that one thing that I don't remember? It's like where he had the tick and he kept brushing his hair. He never talked about it. He just pretended that he was brushing his hair. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was too scared to come out about that.
No, everyone else knew. Mary said she knew. You didn't know. Everyone knew. I just didn't notice it because it didn't bother me. I didn't know he had a tick. And I knew him for 4 freaking years.
Anywho, you're being whack.
Yeah.
And it's not
I didn't know
appreciated.
that. It didn't bother me. I didn't think it was an issue.
Okay, anyways.
Yeah, anyways.
Honestly,
Generational thing, man. I'm telling you.
I also, this is something I might be overly sensitive to because of my personal experience, but I don't feel like age is really like a very good like thing to back up an argument. Just because my soon to be ex stepfather is what 40 something, and I'm 15. I have a job and he doesn't. And I have done more in raising my younger sister than he ever
And then
has.
he just sucks and he's lame. He's
Well,
not,
yes.
he's not
well,
an adult.
I just feel like you generalize too much and you need to stop generalizing
No, I'm
entire groups of
truthful.
people.
I would say
Her dad is lame. He needs to get a freaking
I would
job.
But that's an
you have-
individual.
A lot of what you have said during this discussion has been true. However, a lot of it also has been overly generalized because it's things that are true about
But
some
maybe
people, but
what
not true
you're
for
saying is
everyone.
overgeneralized too.
No, because we
I-
keep telling you that you're overgeneralizing. And we're staying away from that.
But maybe what she's saying is
She's talking about
overgeneralized
a personal experience right now.
too. No, she's
Talking
not
about-
talking about
I am
his
talking
personal.
about a personal
She's
experience.
talking about her literal ex-stepdad. That's a personal experience. That's a whole anecdote, mother.
Okay, then why can't I talk about my own personal experience?
You can.
Okay. And I'm telling you, things were different back then. That's all I'm fucking saying.
Insane. Okay. I'm not.
Guys, do you want to go play board game?
Yeah. I didn't finish my food.
Oh, okay.
And
Finish
so,
I'm not hungry.